Just record. There we go. So get comfortable. We typically start in the seated position, but remember, if that doesn't feel good to you, feel free to come into any position that you like. Taking a few minutes to move if your body wants to move. Maybe some neck rolls or shoulder rolls or a little twisting. Just checking in. How are you feeling physically? How's your physical body feeling this evening? And then taking a moment to celebrate that, or have some compassion, some love, some understanding, kindness for yourself if you're maybe not physically feeling your best. I know several of you have been a little under the weather, some of you with COVID, other things. Things come and they go. We face trials. It's okay to love yourself. Give yourself a little kindness. But then also, take time to celebrate and be grateful for all the positive. And both of those things can be happening at the same time. In yoga, we use the word Shavasana. I never can say that really well. It's a fun word to say. But it's kind of like holding on to two opposites at the same time. So maybe there is a place in our body that feels a little tight, a little tense, a little unwell. But there's a place in our body that feels great. We can be sad and happy at the same time. Holding opposites. Finding the joy in the sorrow, right? The happy in the sad. The good in the bad. And as hard as it can be, appreciating the lesson that we learn through the tough stuff. We grow, we get stronger when we face, not the perfect. And then inviting yourself to just be in this moment, right here. Right now, in this moment. Right? We don't have all the worries, right? Because we're right in this space, here and now, with our breath. Letting go of anything from the past, trying not to look to the future, trying to just be right here. And I invite you to try to stay in the moment as much as possible throughout the next 25, 27 minutes, whatever it is we have. I invite you to bring the palms together, lifting your thumbs to your heart. If you haven't already done so, take a moment, self-kindness, self-love. Give yourself some good jobs, way to go, positive affirmations. You can bow your chin down towards your chest. If your eyes are closed, taking a moment to flutter them open. Just pausing, adjusting to the light, maybe blinking a couple of times. And when you're ready, release the hands, And gaze up. Welcome everyone that has joined us. We're going to start with kind of that wide butterfly type position today. So the heels are out away from the hips. Maybe you rock side to side a little bit, make some adjustments, make any shifts. And let the hands just rest on the shins. Pull the shoulder blades down, gently lift the heart. And then we're going to start with just that hinge forward. It might not be very far. So trying to keep the heart lifted a bit as you hinge forward. And typically you'll feel something along the outside of your outer thigh, your IT band. Of course, everybody is different. And depending on what you are going through, you might feel different things. But leaving that heart slightly lifted and leaning forward. We'll pause here for a few breaths. Try to keep your shoulders relaxed. Try to relax right between the shoulder blades on the back of the spine. So sometimes we have a little bit of a tendency to tense at this point. Relax the belly. Take an inhale. As you exhale, let the forehead begin to round. The back begin to release. And the forehead, crown of the head, somewhere around the face. This falls down towards the feet, towards the heels. You can play with how much you tuck your chin. Finding a nice stretch right down both sides of the spine through those erector spinae muscles. Try not to force, try not to bring yourself into such a deep stretch that you would describe it as pain. It's more of just a sensation. On our inhale, we'll slowly begin to lift the head, the chest, and then walk the hands in, coming into the inner side of the thigh here. Two options, maybe pull the heels in for butterfly. If you don't really love butterfly, straddle is always another great option. So I'm going to stick with butterfly tonight just because we tend to straddle a lot, but do whichever feels best to you. Gently lean forward. You can think about pressing out on the inner thighs. You can walk your hands forward. Gently pressing down through the outer thigh, opening the inner thigh. Remember, you can always have pillows or blocks on the floor to bring the floor up to you so you could lean in. Or maybe you can lean all the way down onto the floor, even reach the hands out wide in front of you. Welcome, Belen. And I hope I'm saying your name right. I'm so excited that you are trying VFit Studio with us. I'm not positive if it's, I was trying to think, does it rhyme with Helen? So Belen or Belen, you can let us know. But I definitely want to give you a nice welcome. Maybe just a little shifting through your torso, just making sure you're not bringing any tension into the upper body. So if you are newer to yin, we do hold poses longer than any just regular stretching class. We hold from a minute all the way to 2, 3, 4 minutes sometimes. We don't try to press to our deepest point. We come to what I like to call the beginning of the sensation. As the sensation lightens, lessens, then maybe we take the stretch a little bit deeper, giving the body time. And then on our inhale, we'll gently come up. From here, just bringing your heels onto the ground just for a couple of breaths. Let your legs rock side to side. Just a little movement through the hips. Come into a little bit of side stretching here. So bringing the right heel slightly in front of the left heel. So our heels just, somewhat line up. Press into the right inner thigh and lean to the left. So we're going to start to lengthen through the side body, starting a little bit here with the lower. So we're getting our lower obliques, but our hip flexors that also run right up through here. So get a nice little stretch. Your left hand can stay on your leg or reach out to the left. Gently pressing down on your right inner thigh. And then we can bring the right arm up and reach it over, bringing that stretch all the way up through the rib cage. Some of you might even be able to drop all the way down onto your forearm. I'm pretty tight through my side body, so I would have to add maybe a pillow, a couple of pillows. Okay, but remember, you don't have to drop down. You can be supported on your hand as well. Let's just think about separating each rib cage from the one above it and below it. It's a nice stretch through our intercostal, our breathing muscles. If we're tight through our side, we can't always take a full deep breath. And then we'll add a little twist here. So just think about taking your left hand and slide it behind you a little bit for support. And then the twist is going to come from the navel to the sternum. So bring the awareness to the navel and gently twist. So we're kind of like bringing our navel towards the left knee, and the right arm just follows with that. Gently lift up through the heart. You'll feel some nice twisting through your back. If that is uncomfortable, or you have any kind of degenerative disc, herniated disc, pregnancy, it's not always a great idea for deep twisting. So don't force anything. Sometimes you'll get little adjustments on your spine, but don't try to make it happen. Don't force it. Relax the shoulders. And then we'll bring the sternum, navel back towards the front and gently rise up. And then take a moment here, a little side to side, easy twist. Take a couple of nice deep inhales and exhales. So we just took all of kind of the blood supply, the lymphatic system and everything that runs through our torso. We wrung it out like a dish rag, right? We helped our body release and get that flow of our lymphatic system flowing, right? And then pausing and just this nice easy twisting allows all that fresh blood supply to come back in. The lymphatic system just pumps all the waste out. Let's switch that to the other side. So bringing left leg in front of right. Feel free, move around, shift around. If you are using a pillow, you can switch it to the other side. And we'll press away on the left inner thigh. Leaning to the right. Just start with the lean. Think about getting that length in the lower part of the side body. Try to allow your head to just be neutral, right? So it's an extension of the spine. I'm not really doing anything to my neck here. Couple of more breaths. And you can bring the left arm up and over. Again, maybe you stay on your hand, maybe you come to your forearm, maybe you put some pillows underneath the forearm. Try not to lift the left leg up, right? Create that space. So if that left leg starts to lift, just lift higher underneath your right arm. We're not trying to crunch too much through the right side of the body. We're kind of lengthening our spine in general, reaching across. And then awareness, navel to sternum, or maybe a tiny bit of a twist, maybe a little more, finding where it feels right to you. Taking all our internal organs, giving them a nice squeeze, massage. Wringing out the sponge. And then open the chest back center. Ah, come on up. Once again, just some easy, just nice light arms. Take a couple of big breaths that just feel good. Fill up your lungs. Let it out. Maybe one more time. Big breath in the nose. Open the mouth. Let it out. We'll take our legs, extend them out long, lengthening through the entire back side of the body. So again, you could have some pillows in your lap. You could be sitting on pillows. You could use a strap around your feet if you like, but you don't have to reach your feet either. We're just start to forward fold. I like to take some pillows, lay them in my lap, and recline into them. Work to flex the feet. Lengthening the crown of the head towards the feet. So it's not just about rounding forward, right? We want to forward and lengthen. So maybe we're a little bit higher because we want to get that length in there. And then just finding that combo position, right? Based between length and round, and finding the place that feels just right to you. Again, bring your awareness right between the shoulder blades on the back of your body. And try to relax right between the shoulder blades. It's going to help pull the shoulders away from the ears. Because a lot of times we pull them up towards the ears inadvertently and pull them down away from the ears. And then staying in this forward fold position, just gently, maybe 1 foot at a time, kind of lift your heel up and bring a little bit of a point through your toes. It doesn't have to be real intense. If you get any cramping in the bottom of your feet, just come back out of it. If you can reach the tops of your feet and everything feels good, you could gently press down, or you could take a pillow and let just the weight of the pillow lay on the tops of the feet. And that stretch through the top of the foot, through the shin. And then sometimes if you have a pillow to lay on your feet, you might even want to set your body up, right? And just let that pillow gently point the toes down. And you can do some light movement in your upper body. If, however, you don't have a pillow and you want to use your hands on the top of the feet, you can, or you can still set up and just gently point. Maybe shrug the shoulders a couple of times. Just opening the lungs. And then we'll remove the pillow, roll your ankles side to side, round and round a few times. So now we're going to take that stretch all the way through the front of our body. It will give you options. Remember, do what feels good to you, but this is where we'll come down onto the belly. So if you're not coming on to the belly today, we're going to be getting some stretch through our shoulders. So you could always take reaching your arms behind your back. And then when we're there, we're also going to work on stretching our quad and hip flexor. So you could come on to a side and stretch your quad and hip flexor. But if you're okay laying on your belly, we'll come on down, we'll put it all together. So taking the right hand out into the T position, left hand underneath the shoulder, look to the left, and we're just going to roll the body over the right side, letting the left foot reach behind you. Now, maybe it touches the ground, maybe it kind of touches the ground, maybe it really touches the ground. If this is more than you like, you don't have to take the foot behind you. The left leg can still stay in the front. Let me get that roll. Now you can reach the left arm behind you as well. You can even take the left hand and grab the left foot or ankle. And now we're in that heel to glute stretch. You don't have to keep the right hand behind you if it feels better to bring the right hand in front of you and just do heel to glute. That's also okay. So it's finding the combination that works and feels the best for you. And then we're here for a little while. So if you just want to stay, in one part of the pose and then the second part of the pose, you can also have a pillow underneath your head for support. At any point you want to let go of the foot, you can let go of the foot. You're still getting that opening through the torso, through the quad, if it's reaching behind you. If you are still holding your foot, go ahead and release it. We'll bring the left arm in front of the body and let the left leg come on top or slightly in front of the body. Just pausing right there for a couple of breaths. And then you have two options for just a short counter stretch. So I'll show you seated in a minute, or you can stay laying down. taking the right arm that was just out to the side, bringing it underneath the chest and just kind of laying your head forward here. And you can rest onto your left hand. So it's kind of the same position as coming up to seated and taking it across the body. It just gives you that option to stay on the floor and not have to come up to seated by bringing it underneath you. We do the counter stretch less time. We won't do it as long time as we did the opening. It's more of just a gentle release than a deep stretch. And then we'll slowly make our way up and onto the other side. So now the left arm comes out. I want to have a pillow nearby. Looking at my right hand underneath my right shoulder, and I can roll that over. Reaching the right foot behind me. Maybe staying here, maybe reaching the right arm, maybe taking the right arm to the foot. If it doesn't feel good on your chest or shoulder, remember the left arm doesn't have to be back behind you. You can simply be laying on your side for a heel to glute stretch here, focusing more on the leg than the arm. You can let go of the foot anytime you like, but still hold the open. If you are still holding your foot, you go ahead and release. Bring the right arm back in front of the body, the right knee on the left or back, kind of even in front. Pausing. And then we'll start to roll onto the belly or seated, taking that little counter stretch again. So this time left arm coming under and gently onto the arm. It's okay, your head doesn't have to come down to the ground, right? It can stay lifted a little bit, but keep your gaze down so that you're not straining the neck. You can always, again, have pillows and your forehead could rest on a yoga block or pillows. And we're not here super long, just a little bit of a counter stretch. And also do this from seated. And then we'll gently unthread the needle. Coming into Shavasana, which is typically on our back. So you can always come onto your back. Or if you'd like to give crocodile pose a try, you can just stay here on the belly. You can rest onto whichever cheek. The arms are just kind of in goalpost arms. And it's just another option. And of course, please feel free to roll over onto your back and lay with your hands at your side. But I just thought, we're here on our belly, so it might feel good to just, You could also have a pillow or a yoga block letting your forehead rest so that you can breathe. Your nose is up off the ground, but your neck is in neutral rather than laying on one cheek.
We just officially have maybe 20 more seconds here together.
But as always, I invite you to spend a few extra minutes. I'll log out. You don't have to do anything. And just give yourself the gift of a few more minutes of just stillness, noticing your breath, allowing your body, your physical body, and your neurological system to just have this reset. Thank you all so much for joining me. The love and light in me honors the love and light in each of you.